Commander Elena Reyes stood at the viewport of the stellar horizon, watching the nebula's swirling colors with measured concern. Something felt wrong about the radiation patterns they were detecting. As a veteran of both deep space research and the Earth Defense Force, she'd learned to trust her instincts. "Thrix, run another scan of that energy signature," she called to her Zentran first officer. The tall, crystalline being's facets sparkled as they interfaced with the ship's sensors. "Commander, the readings are irregular," Thrix's harmonious voice held a note of worry. "These patterns don't match typical nebula behavior." Elena nodded, her dark eyes narrowing. The stellar horizon was supposed to be studying gravitational anomalies in the Carina sector, not chasing mysterious energy signatures. But something about this situation made her scalp prickle with warning. "Full spectrum analysis, and get Dr. Patel up here from engineering. I want his opinion on these readings." Before Thrix could acknowledge the order, the ship's sensors screamed to life. Multiple vessels emerged from within the nebula's gases, their weapons already charged and targeting systems locked on the stellar horizon. "Pirates," Elena breathed, recognizing the infamous Black Spiral Fleet's signature energy patterns. "Battle stations. All hands to emergency protocols." The research vessel's crew, though small, moved with practiced efficiency. They might be scientists and explorers, but Elena had insisted on regular combat drills. The stellar horizon's shields hummed to life just as the first barrage of enemy fire streaked across space. 7 hostile vessels detected, Thrix reported, their crystalline form pulsing with urgency. "Their formation suggests the Spiral's hunter's net strategy. We're being herded." Elena's mind raced through options. The stellar horizon carried breakthrough quantum field technology, experimental systems that could revolutionize space travel. They couldn't let it fall into pirate hands, but their research vessel wasn't built for combat. "Dr. Patel, status report," she called as the Indian engineer rushed onto the bridge, his usual calm demeanor replaced with focused intensity. "The quantum field generator is stable, Commander, but we can't sustain heavy damage to the containment systems," he reported, sliding into his station. "If those fields collapse—" "I know," Elena cut him off. "The resulting quantum cascade would tear apart everything within a light-minute radius. Thrix, what's our fastest route out of the net?" The Zentran's crystals darkened in their equivalent of a frown. "Standard vectors are all covered. They planned this well." Another blast rocked the ship. Shield status indicators flickered warning amber across the bridge displays. The pirates were testing their defenses, probing for weaknesses. "Commander," Dr. Patel's voice held an odd note that made Elena turn. "The quantum field readings, they're responding to the pirates' weapons fire in an unexpected way." Elena moved to his station, studying the complex data streams. Her eyes widened as she recognized the pattern forming in the quantum signature. It was impossible, and yet. "Thrix, redirect power from non-essential systems to the containment field," she ordered, a plan forming. "Dr. Patel, I need you to prepare the quantum generator for a controlled overload, but not a cascade failure." Both officers stared at her. "Commander," Thrix's harmonics wavered with concern, "such precision control of quantum fields is theoretically impossible." "Theory isn't everything," Elena replied, allowing herself a grim smile. "Sometimes you need human intuition to see the impossible paths." "Dr. Patel?" The engineer studied his readings for a long moment, then nodded slowly. Yes, I see what you're thinking. It's insane, but the math supports it. We'd need perfect timing. Then we'd better not miss our cue." Elena returned to the command chair, watching as the pirate vessels moved to tighten their net. They thought they had trapped a helpless research ship. They were about to learn why humanity had earned its reputation for turning desperate situations into victories. "All hands," she broadcast shipwide, "prepare for emergency maneuvers. This is going to get interesting." The Black Spiral fleet closed in, weapons charged for their final assault. But Commander Elena Reyes sat calmly in her chair, watching the tactical display with the patience of a hunter who had just spotted their prey's fatal mistake. Sometimes the best trap was the one where you appeared to be the one caught in it. The stellar horizon shuddered as another volley of pirate fire tested its shields. In the ship's engineering bay, Dr. Patel's fingers danced across holographic controls, coaxing impossible patterns from the quantum field generator. Sweat beaded on his forehead as he pushed the experimental device far beyond its intended parameters. "Field harmonics at critical threshold," he announced, eyes fixed on the swirling quantum visualization. "Commander, if we're going to attempt this, our timing must be perfect." Elena's voice crackled through the comm. "Status of the containment systems?" "Holding, but barely. The pirates' weapons fire is actually helping stabilize the quantum matrix. It's as if..." He paused, double-checking his readings. "It's as if their energy signatures are being drawn into our field." On the bridge, Elena exchanged looks with Thrix. The Zentran's crystalline form pulsed with patterns that Elena had learned to recognize as excitement. "Commander," they chimed, "the quantum readings suggest a resonance pattern forming between our field and their shield matrices." "Exactly what we need," Elena smiled. "Dr. Patel, prepare for Phase 2. Thrix, alert medical bay. This might get rough." The pirates had arranged themselves in a classic attack formation, 7 ships forming an inescapable net of overlapping weapons coverage. Their next volley would target the stellar horizon's engines, standard procedure for capturing valuable prey. But Elena had no intention of playing the role of victim. "Hostile vessels charging weapons," Thrix reported. "They're targeting our propulsion systems." "Now, Dr. Patel," Elena ordered. "Full power to the quantum field." The engineering bay erupted in a symphony of alarms as Dr. Patel initiated the controlled overload. The quantum field generator howled, its containment systems straining as they channeled forces that shouldn't exist in normal space. Throughout the ship, crew members held onto their stations as reality itself seemed to flex. On the bridge's main display, the pirate vessel's energy signatures began to fluctuate. Their weapon systems, designed to punch through conventional shields, were instead feeding power directly into the stellar horizon's quantum field. Each shot they fired only strengthened the effect. "Incredible," Thrix harmonized, their crystalline form resonating with the quantum frequencies. "The field is creating a cascade effect through their shield matrices. Their own weapons are becoming part of our defense network." Elena allowed herself a tight smile. "Science vessels carry the best shields in the fleet for a reason. We deal with forces that make pirate weapons look like toys." She keyed the ship-wide comm, "All hands, brace for Phase 3. Dr. Patel, prepare to invert the field on my mark." The pirates had realized something was wrong. Their fire slackened as they detected the strange energies building around their target. 2 of the smaller ships began to pull back, their captains showing better survival instincts than their companions. "They're attempting to disengage," Thrix reported. "The quantum effect is beginning to interfere with their drive systems." "Perfect." Elena leaned forward in her command chair. "Dr. Patel, how long can you maintain the field?" 2 minutes at most, Commander," his voice was strained. "After that, the containment systems will fail no matter what we do. 2 minutes is all we need." Elena studied the tactical display, watching the energy patterns shift and flow. The pirates were trapped now, caught in their own net by forces they couldn't understand. "Thrix, send an emergency broadcast on all frequencies. Let's make sure everyone in the sector knows what happens when you mistake a research vessel for easy prey." The Zentran's crystals pulsed with satisfaction as they opened the channels. The pirates had expected to find a vulnerable target. Instead, they discovered why humanity's scientists were often more feared than their warriors. Field reaching critical resonance, Dr. Patel warned. Commander, we need to act now. Elena nodded, her dark eyes fixed on the tactical display. The pirate vessels were arranged exactly where she needed them, their own panic making them predictable. All hands, this is it. Initiating Phase 3 in 3, 2, 1. She took a deep breath, watching as the future of space combat was about to be written by a research vessel's desperate gambit. Dr. Patel, invert the field. Let's show these pirates what happens when they threaten the wrong humans. The quantum field generator's whine reached a fever pitch as Dr. Patel executed the command. In the space around the stellar horizon, reality itself seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see what impossible thing humans would achieve next. Time seemed to slow as the quantum field inverted. For a fraction of a second, the space around the stellar horizon lit up with impossible colors as fundamental forces twisted in ways they were never meant to move. Dr. Patel's voice carried across the comm, tight with concentration, field inversion stable. Matrix holding at 93%. The effect was immediate and devastating. The pirates' energy weapons, which had been feeding power into the quantum field, suddenly found their outputs reversed. Each ship's own defensive systems turned inward, their shield matrices collapsing in cascading failures. Energy backflow successful, Thrix reported, their crystalline form vibrating with the quantum frequencies. 5 hostile vessels experiencing complete shield failure. 2 attempting emergency shutdown of weapon systems. Elena watched the tactical display with fierce satisfaction. Too late for that. Dr. Patel, initiate the pulse sequence. The engineer's fingers flew across his controls, orchestrating forces that most humans had only theorized about until now. The quantum field pulsed in precise patterns, sending waves of distorted spacetime rippling through the pirate fleet. By the first crystal, Thrix harmonized in awe. Their hull integrity. It's as if their molecular bonds are temporarily phasing out of sync with normal space. Elena nodded grimly. That's exactly what's happening. The quantum field isn't just disrupting their shields, it's making their own atoms forget how to hold together. The pirate ships began to drift, their engines sputtering as power systems fluctuated wildly. Emergency signals flooded the comm channels as their crews realized just how thoroughly they'd been outmaneuvered. The Black Spiral Fleet, terror of the outer colonies, had just been defeated by a research vessel's experimental equipment. Commander, Dr. Patel's voice held a note of urgency, containment systems are reaching critical limits. We have maybe 30 seconds before total failure. That's all we need. Elena keyed the ship-wide comm, all hands, prepare for emergency maneuvers. Thrix, target the largest pirate vessel with our main drive's plasma wake. Let's give them something to remember us by. The stellar horizon's engines roared to life, the research vessel pivoting with surprising grace for its size. Superheated plasma from its drive exhaust washed over the nearest pirate ship, whose weakened structural integrity couldn't withstand the assault. The vessel's hull began to buckle, forcing its crew to abandon ship in emergency pods. Field collapse in 10 seconds, Dr. Patel warned. 9, 8. Elena watched the tactical display, counting the escape pods launching from the disabled pirate ships. For all their brutality, she wouldn't condemn their crews to death if she could avoid it. Thrix, broadcast on all frequencies, any pirate vessel that powers down completely in the next 5 seconds will be spared further damage. The response was immediate. 3 of the remaining ships shut down all systems, going dark in space. Their crews had seen enough of what human ingenuity could do with harmless research equipment. Field collapse in 3, 2, 1. The quantum effect dissipated in a final burst of otherworldly energy, leaving the stellar horizon surrounded by disabled or surrendered pirate vessels. Emergency beacons blinked in the void, marking the locations of escape pods and powerless ships. Damage report, Elena called, already knowing they'd pushed their systems to the absolute limit. Quantum field generator is completely burned out, Dr. Patel reported, exhaustion clear in his voice. We'll need a full replacement. Shield systems at 40%, but holding. Minor structural damage to decks 3 through 5 from the field stress. The crew? Medical reports only minor injuries, Thrix chimed. Mostly from gravitational fluctuations during the field inversion. However, their crystals pulsed with what Elena recognized as amusement, Dr. Patel may require treatment for elevated blood pressure. A tired laugh echoed over the comm, worth it, Commander. Every second of it. Elena smiled, surveying the aftermath of their desperate gambit. Send out a general distress call, Thrix. Let's get some patrol ships out here to collect our pirates. And prepare a full data package on what we just did with that quantum field. The Science Council is going to have a lot of questions. As will the Military Council, I expect, Thrix noted. We may have just revolutionized space combat. Maybe, Elena agreed, watching as the first distant lights of responding vessels appeared on their sensors. But more importantly, we've shown that humanity's greatest weapon isn't our technology or our weapons. She gestured at the disabled pirate fleet. It's our ability to think our way out of impossible situations. The Stellar Horizon hung in space, a research vessel that had just defeated 7 warships without firing a single conventional weapon. It was a testament to human ingenuity, and a warning to any who thought Earth's scientific expeditions were easy targets. Sometimes the most dangerous humans weren't the ones carrying weapons, they were the ones carrying ideas. The next 12 hours aboard the Stellar Horizon were a whirlwind of activity. Ships from 3 different species converged on their position, a Zentran crystal ship, 2 Merkin war cruisers, and a small fleet of Earth Defense Force vessels. Elena found herself in near-constant communication with various authorities, explaining how a research vessel had managed to disable the infamous Black Spiral fleet. The quantum field modification was unprecedented, she explained to the assembled holographic representatives in the ship's conference room. Dr. Patel's calculations were essential to its success. The Indian engineer sat straighter in his chair as multiple alien gazes turned toward him. The Merkin admiral, a towering feline humanoid, leaned forward with interest. You weaponized a scientific instrument in the heat of battle? Most innovative. Not weaponized, Dr. Patel corrected carefully. We simply found an unexpected application for existing principles. The quantum field generator was designed to study spacetime distortions. We just created some distortions of our own. Thrix's crystals pulsed with what Elena now recognized as pride. This is why my people value human partnerships. You see possibilities where others see only established rules. The Zentran Elders hologram chimed in agreement, their crystalline form casting rainbow refractions across the conference room. The Black Spiral fleet has been a scourge in this sector for too long. Their defeat will change the balance of power significantly. Elena noticed the subtle shifts in posture among the alien representatives. The pirates' activities had affected all their peoples, but no one had managed to deal them such a decisive blow. Now a human research vessel had accomplished what military ships couldn't, and done it without conventional weapons. Commander Reyes, the Earth Defense Force admiral spoke up, your actions have implications beyond just defeating pirates. The quantum field effect you demonstrated. It could revolutionize space combat. Or end it entirely, Elena countered, drawing surprised looks. Think about it. We just proved that advanced scientific equipment can neutralize military vessels without destroying them. Maybe it's time we focused more on research ships and less on warships. The Merkin admiral's tail twitched thoughtfully. You would turn hunters into scholars? We already are scholars, Dr. Patel interjected. Every species here achieved space flight through scientific advancement, not military might. Perhaps we should return to those roots. Thrix moved to the center of the room, their crystalline form refracting the holographic lights. My people propose an initiative. The stellar horizon has demonstrated the power of combining scientific knowledge with tactical thinking. We should establish a joint research fleet, crewed by all our species. The conference room burst into excited discussion. Elena sat back, watching as former rivals began enthusiastically planning collaborative scientific missions. The pirates had intended to steal their quantum field research. Instead, they'd catalyzed something far more powerful, true cooperation between species. Hours later, as the various representatives departed to begin implementing their plans, Elena stood at her favorite viewport watching the combined fleet. Earth Defense Force ships worked alongside Mercan cruisers to collect the disabled pirate vessels, while Zentran crystal ships performed complex scans of the quantum field residue. Quite a change from yesterday, Dr. Patel commented, joining her at the viewport. When those pirates appeared, I thought we were finished. Now look, we're establishing the first multi-species research initiative in sector history. Sometimes the best victories aren't the ones you win with weapons, Elena replied. Thrix, what's the status of our quantum field generator? The Zentran first officer approached, their crystals gleaming. The Zentran elder has offered to help rebuild it, with improvements. They believe combining our crystal technology with your quantum principles could yield fascinating results. Elena smiled. And the Mercans want to contribute their energy field expertise, while the Earth Defense Force provides tactical perspectives on practical applications. She turned to her officers. We didn't just beat those pirates today. We proved that science and cooperation are more powerful than any weapon. Commander, Thrix chimed suddenly, incoming transmission from Earth Command. They're offering the Stellar Horizon a new mission, to lead the Joint Research Initiative. Dr. Patel grinned. Well, we did prove we can handle unexpected situations. Elena looked out at the assembled fleet again. Human ingenuity had turned a desperate situation into an opportunity for unprecedented cooperation. The pirates had thought they were attacking a vulnerable research vessel. Instead, they'd accidentally helped forge an alliance that would change the future of space exploration. Accept the mission, Thrix, she ordered. But remind Earth Command that we'll need an expanded science bay. After all, she smiled at her officers, we have a lot of new experiments to run. The Stellar Horizon floated among its newfound allies, no longer just a human research vessel but a symbol of what could be achieved when species work together. The pirates had thought they had them cornered. Instead, they'd helped create something far more powerful than any fleet, a future where science and cooperation would lead the way to the stars. 3 days after the battle, Commander Elena Reyes stood in the Stellar Horizon's quantum lab, surveying the aftermath of their desperate gambit. The experimental generator lay in ruins, its housing warped and crystalline components shattered by the forces they'd channeled through it. It's almost beautiful, in a way, Dr. Patel mused, running his hand along the twisted metal. Like a sculpture representing the moment everything changed. The Zentran Science Council agrees, Thrix chimed from their data station. They're calling it the Reyes effect, the intentional manipulation of quantum fields to disrupt molecular cohesion. Several research institutes are already requesting our data. Elena shook her head, smiling. Name it after Dr. Patel instead. He's the one who made the impossible calculations work. Actually, Dr. Patel's expression grew serious. I've been analyzing those calculations. Commander, what we did, it shouldn't have worked. The math suggests the field should have collapsed almost immediately. But it didn't, Elena pointed out. No, it didn't. He pulled up a holographic display of the battle data. Because of something none of our instruments could measure. Something uniquely human. Thrix's crystals pulsed with interest. Explain. Intuition, Dr. Patel said simply. The commander's timing, the crew's responses, the way we all somehow knew exactly when to push and when to hold back, it wasn't just math and science. It was that distinctly human ability to feel the right moment. Elena studied the data floating before them. The quantum field patterns did seem to dance right on the edge of chaos, maintained by split-second decisions that no computer could have calculated fast enough to make. The Merkin Admiral said something similar during the debrief, she recalled. About how humans don't just solve problems, we rewrite the rules that created them in the first place. A soft alert chimed through the lab. Thrix's crystals shifted to their professional configuration. Commander, the first group of science vessels has arrived. The Zentran crystal ship, Light of Discovery, is requesting permission to begin joint calibration tests. Already? Elena checked the time. They're 2 days early. Apparently, Dr. Patel grinned, news of our little quantum trick has caused quite a stir. Everyone wants to be part of whatever we do next. Elena moved to the lab's viewport, watching as the crystalline vessel took up position alongside them. Its faceted surface caught the light of nearby stars, creating patterns that seemed to mirror the quantum fields they generated during the battle. The pirates thought they had us cornered, she mused. They saw a research vessel and thought they saw weakness. Instead, they discovered why humans have survived every challenge we've faced among the stars. Because we're clever? Dr. Patel suggested. Because we're adaptable, Elena corrected. We take our failures, our desperate moments, our impossible situations, and we turn them into stepping stones to something greater. She gestured at the ruined quantum generator. Look what this defeat of pirates has already sparked, the first true collaboration between our species' scientific communities. Thrix moved to join them at the viewport, their crystalline form resonating with the frequencies of distant stars. The Zentran histories speak of a time when we believed we were alone in our pursuit of knowledge. Meeting humans showed us that curiosity is universal, but the human approach to discovery. Their crystals pulsed with what might have been amusement, is uniquely chaotic and effective. More ships were appearing on their sensors now, vessels from a dozen different species, all drawn by the promise of what they might discover together. The Stellar Horizon's victory over the pirates had done more than just eliminate a threat. It had reminded everyone that the greatest adventures in space weren't about conquest or combat, they were about discovery and cooperation. Dr. Patel, Elena turned to her engineer, how long until we can begin joint operations with the Light of Discovery? He consulted his readings. The quantum field residue is still settling, but their crystalline technology should actually help stabilize it. We could start preliminary tests within hours. Good. Elena squared her shoulders, feeling the familiar excitement of starting a new scientific mission. Because if combining human intuition with Zentran crystals and Merkin energy fields can disable a pirate fleet, imagine what we might accomplish when we're actually trying to make discoveries. The Stellar Horizon hummed with renewed purpose as its crew prepared to lead humanity's next great adventure. They had transformed a moment of desperate survival into an opportunity for unprecedented cooperation. The pirates had thought they had them trapped, but they'd never understood the most fundamental truth about humanity. Give humans an impossible situation, and they'll turn it into a revolution. Give them a defeat, and they'll reshape it into victory. But give them a chance to explore and discover alongside new allies, and they'll show you why they were born to reach for the stars. As Elena gave the order to begin operations with their new allies, she couldn't help but smile. The pirates had wanted to steal their research. Instead, they'd helped create something far more valuable, a future where the combined knowledge of multiple species would unlock the universe's greatest mysteries. And that, she knew, was humanity's greatest victory of all.